protect each other's mental space. If you ever need me, just call. I'ma come running, give it my all. Love is love, God wins. Keep your vibrations high and watch how your blessings.
You are a sick individual. You know that boy is obsessed with me, and you going over there praying on him to buy. You are so sick. Girl, I can show you the paperwork. I make 2.5 times the amount of money now that I got rid of you out of my life. And when I get rid of him from the inside out, I feel like I'm going to go up to about $20,000 a month. Don't nobody play with my soul or try to trap me. You are a nasty, cruel-ass bitch. Death don't do you justice, ho. You already dead on the inside. You stupid. You are literally delusional to sit there and pay this boy to talk to him behind the scene, to cry and act like you made a friend. Ain't no fucking friends. He using you for money, and you don't care about it. The only thing you care about is trying to get a reaction out of me. Well, guess what? Your money ain't shit compared to my money and what I'm making right now and what you was giving me. You can't penny bitch me. You are a nasty, disgusting person who came across some money. That's all you will ever be. You're pulling strings behind the scenes, and I'm going to show you I play that game better than you.
End of message. Delete. Press 7. Save. Press 9 or resave.
Yeah, after 4 months of straight up supporting somebody who you know has completely harassed me, and then you leaving messages, participating, and then after you finally got my attention to text you, well, you showed me everything that you need to show me. At this point, it's not even really about you supporting him. It's the fact that I was always wondering, if I just talk to her and apologize, maybe she'll stop. And that's what I was leading to, but now you're participating in the harassment overtly while getting text messages from me in real time. So I wish you the best. And you can support whoever you want to support. I no longer have a feasible way of watching and looking because the money that you used to give me ain't coming back to my platform. No matter how much I said I didn't want it, I did have it in my back of my mind maybe to allow you back over, to allow you to support me since you said you did it from the kindness of your heart. But you just showed me everything that you needed to show me, and I appreciate you. And when I wake up tomorrow, I promise you I'm going to manifest 5 or 6 different people that support me 10 times fold more than you have ever supported me because it was never genuine. I wish you the best. I will not mention you on my platform. I will not talk about him. He's on loop on a backup channel. And now that I know that you're still going to support him and his predatory energy towards me, I can't do nothing about it. It's not your business. You are in my business by supporting somebody who's harassing me. But you showed me that, and I can't do nothing about it. So for that, I wish you the best. You will not get a mention. You will not be talked about on my platform. Godspeed.
End of message. Delete. Press.
This one's for no nuts. The fraud, the faker, the coward. Let's go. No nuts, you a threat, that's a comedy skit. Act hard in person, but you never commit. Sniffing that powder, trying to boost your flame, but your brain glitching, lost in the game. Push it out for me, that line is old. Fake flexing diamonds, but your jewelry's cold. Mean for no reason with a grin full of spite, but you fold when it's real, never stand in the light. Low budget actor, can't land a part. Wig on crooked, no soul in your art. Fake tough, fake deep, fake views you chase. You a walking L with powder on your face. No nuts got charges, he wildin' again. Fake lawyer talking, but can't even pretend. Picked on a queen, cause she cut off the cash. Now he crying in DMs, looking real trash. Push it out from me, nah, push that plea. You a fraud with a script, no law degree. Big threats, no spine, just powder and cap. You a whole case file in a diss rap track. Got caught capping, mask slid off. You scream lawsuits, but your bluff too soft. your name but wanna take a stand. Crying to fans, begging for bills, but threatened women got zero chill. Acting like you run the scene, but shiver when it's heat like a dope fiend. Trying to flex woke, say you the one, but you dark in the heart and dumb in the sun. Wigs stay on, blue coat for days. Say you chosen, boy you lost in the haze. Ain't enlightened, just snow in your dome. Got a YouTube glow, but no real home. Loud on the net, but your soul stay fake. Talk peace, live hate, you a walking mistake. Push it out for me, now push that fraud. You recycled your look and you front like a god. Go fund me for a dream you won't chase. Scamming with catchphrases, stealing the base. Fake nose, fake teeth, lies in your grin. You ain't built to win, you just built for sin. SSI checks, but you flex online. Playing like a boss with a squad of spine. Creators see you and they duck quick. You a mimic, a menace, a habitual trick. Beating old women, bro, you sick. Squatting in homes, pulling leeching tricks. HIV housing, still acting elite. But you ain't paid rent, just lying in the street. Racist clown, hating your kind. Black man bashing black women online. You harass, you threaten, you live for the shame. But karma don't miss and it's calling your name.
Y'all know we about to just do a whole, diss track, at this point, because they just won't, shout out to Lady Letitia. I apologize, Lady Letitia. I don't know why that dude brought that to your panel. RC117 did not say anything disrespectful to him. He actually was giving you praises, saying that, he's glad that you move forward. Don't go over to Maggie's panel no more. He actually wished Carl the best, told him, don't believe everything that you see or hear, we ain't got no bad intentions, so on and so forth. And I want you to understand something that took place on your panel, which is a revelation within itself. Carl said that RC117 was a husband brother, right? If Carl just now stumbled across my content, how do he know that RC117 was a husband brother? RC117 ain't been in the Discord in like 6 weeks, right? So how would he know that if he just now came across my content or whatever it is? So obviously he's already got his updates. He already got his protocol. He already got what it is that he's supposed to do. I don't know why he took that to your panel. I apologize that even came over. You block somebody by accident, you don't know how to undo it. When you go to your settings, you got to go to like your settings. When you like looking at your account, you go to settings, and then you'll be able to see, like in your settings, I think it's permission or something like that, and then you'll be able to see the people that's blocked and the people who have access to your account. I don't know what that was about. RC117 ain't even go over there with the shits like that. Like, he mad. Carl's mad because I didn't give him the time and place over here to do that weird, I don't know what he called himself doing. I guess it's the same thing that he was doing with Lady T, which is probably opening up and then making it seem like, she was wrong, or I don't know. Like, I don't want to play that game. I keep on telling people, like, we listen, we could be with the shit. Like, we could go ahead and roast you, tear you down, you know what I mean? He's already a trauma bonder. You see, he's already ready to trauma bond. Yeah, and I moved, and I don't want them to know where I'm getting money at, because the first woman don't know about the second woman, and if the second woman know about the first woman, and if she put all of that out there that I told her, and da-da-da-da, like, yo, how'd you... I know you were sitting there, Lady Letitia, like, now wait a minute. All I wanted to do was talk about Meghan Markle and Maggie. Who the fuck, and how the fuck is all this other shit coming up? I know you was over there, Lady Letitia, like, what? And you did it so subtly, right? After he dropped off, you was like, love is love. I said, that's right, Lady Letitia. Let them know you ain't with the shit. You was not with the shit. They trying to. I'm telling you, this is some weird. I don't even know how this. I don't even know where this stuff come from. All right, is there a script? Is it somebody writing a script to this or something? Please, they gotta be. This shit gotta be scripted somewhere. RC117, if you want to come up, you could come up. Layla Tisha, if you want to come up, you could come up. I'm pretty sure, there's a little bit of clarity that needs to be cleared up because he tried to make it seem like you came up over there on some like, sneaky type trying to. He said, "Oh, he's from Ralph's Discord. He's trying to." You didn't say nothing bad to him. You didn't say nothing. All you said was like, you know what I mean, like. Maybe you got the wrong impression and you didn't come at him like you could have came at him all types of sideways. But I know I would have. Yeah, I started to I ain't even gonna hold you. I started to I was like, you know what? Danny Robinson got Danny Montana. Fuck it. I'm coming out with Wreck It Ralph. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wreck it. I'm trying to get me an alter ego that I can just, talk my shit, tear some shit up on, you know what I'm saying? You're not seeing chat. You might have to hit the button or leave and come back. I'm sorry. I think I'm coming up with something. I think I'm coming up with something. Hold up. The doctor said I need a Becky out of me. What's going on with you?
Ralph, what's up, brother?
What's up? Hey, I can't even be mad. Like you tried to deflect it. You tried to, reach a level of listen, you kind of knew that he was going to attack you, right? Because it's inevitable. These people are obsessed with the knot. If the knot said go infiltrate the Discord, they all gonna go do it to try to get brownie points.
I did. And you know what, Ralph? I anticipated it, but I'm just speaking my truth. Like, I'm a grown man and I came with calmness and clarity. And I was just speaking on behalf of what I have experienced. And I admit I messed up with you before too. But you know what? I've taken it with a grain of salt. I grew from it and I learned. And he is just seeing something that is not what it is. And I'm sorry, that's the alcohol talking to him right now. And he shouldn't be bringing that drama to Lady Letitia's channel.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all I can say is I apologize to Lady Letitia for him even, rolling that around her way. She was shocked. I know she was like, "What? Hold on." And he kept going too, like, no, and he's going to, like, yo, and y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know what I had to do. I had to hide my life. That's why I came on here anonymous. Well, you can't be that anonymous if you're right here blurting it all out.
And especially if you've been in numerous people's chats. So let's be real here. You go from chat to chat, so you're not really that anonymous. Let's be straight up here.
Right. That's why I told you it was a game from the beginning, and he knows it's a game. That's why look. I want Lady Letitia to go back and look at that lie. Or well, she don't have to. She don't have to. But look at how how he did it. Like he literally said, I should have just stayed over on the TikTok side and got, the information and learned how to build my page from him. What? So how'd you end up attacking me at the end of that if you said that you just wanted to learn how to build a page in the beginning? Like none of what he said was making sense. And what's going on with you?
Your name should have never been brought up anyways, because you know, like the minute I came into Letitia's chat, all I heard was swearing and cursing, and that's not positivity.
Hello. Hi, Ralph. Hi, RC117. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I had left the chat because I was running after my daughter.
Yeah,
And
I know you were.
I came back and it was silent, but I didn't even know he had an issue with you, Ralph. I was like, wait a minute, hold up.
He don't.
I'm Team Ralph.
Yeah, he's got issues with two Ralphs, and I
don't
came
even
respectfully.
know. I'm sorry, but I don't even know where it came from. Look, you know, you've been in the Discord. You know, we had discrepancies about you know how we operate, how I speak, honesty, and so on and so on. So all we was doing is being honest with him, telling him like, listen, everything that's going on. The not sending people over in the Discord to infiltrate the Discord. The message literally was to go over there and trauma bond with them, right? And this is the same rhetoric to trauma bond, tell them stuff about your life. And then that way, when it all falls out, you can say that they use stuff about your life to keep you or, whatever, cohortions of the heart. And you can build like, so every time he comes over there, he kept on trying to talk about things in his life. And I'm like, yo, listen, we're not asking you none of those questions. We don't want to know none of that stuff. Like the first time we let it slide because he introducing himself, he just coming over there. But then the second day he just started talking about the knot. He started talking about I'm second guessing Lady T, so on and so forth. And I'm just like, man, come on, we don't even care about none of that. Like,
I don't want to hear that because, like I said, I felt the need to step on Letitia's channel because she is a very respectable woman and she doesn't allow that stuff on our channel. And I tried to, go down to his level and say, listen, I messed up with Ralph too once before, okay? But guess what? Like I said, I took it with a grain of salt. I learned from it. And I just said, listen, it's like when you go to work, you leave all your personal problems outside. Don't bring that into the Discord. And that's all I was trying to say and make a point. But, he didn't comprehend that. And you know what? I mean, it is what it is. I tried and that's all I could do. And if he doesn't want to take it that way, then so be it. Because you know what? Life goes on. I did what I could, but I don't care.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lady Leticia.
Yes.
Are you doing a show tonight?
I am.
What time?
I was going to do it around 8, but I may do it later.
Okay. We'll try to be around for it.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I was so confused. I came back. I was like, Ralph is connecting with Maggie. I said, oh, no. Wait a minute. I said, he is not connecting with Maggie. They are not in cahoots with each other.
I don't know what narrative he's trying to push in order to build his content. I don't even understand how he even came into having such a great level of knowledge about everything that's been going on. He's like he came with Lady T, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
And you know what? For his profession that he does, I would say it's a little inappropriate to talk to, the way that he does, because you never know if you have parents or people that are watching you or, listening to you. And it's just inappropriate behavior. I swear, but I'm not going to go on somebody's page and curse like that. No.
Well, what Danny Robinson say? A mess. Press.
Ralph. Letitia, press.
Yeah.
Disrespectful. Like, you're not going to disrespect Ralph or the Discord or Letitia. I don't allow that, and I'm sorry. And like I said, I just came up there and said what I needed to say. And you know what? If you
I appreciate that.
No, if you don't want to intercept what I have to say, then so be it. I'm not going to hold a grudge. I'm going to move on and say, okay, that's it. But you know what? Life is life. At the end of the day, I'm blessed. If he wants to say mad and upset, then so be it. I don't care.
Well, he's probably going to make a live about you now. He's probably going to choose you as a way to make a lot, which is, I don't understand it, because like with everything going on YouTube, with the pew pew just happening
Right.
recently, they don't see what's coming. They don't
Right.
see that that negative is not going to be tolerated, like it's not going to sell for much longer. Like there's you know there's going to have to be some type of rules, regulations, or something put in play, because everybody's using these now for, um, what would we say, like ego battle, like
Yes,
um,
absolutely, Ralph. Yeah,
Right.
using it to push
They're gonna
their
have to do
narrative.
something.
Yeah, using it to push
yeah,
their narrative. It's not working, and it's not the way to do it. Be yourself. Be original. Come up with your own originality. That's what people want to see, originality, not copying what the next person and the next person says. That is getting old and tiring.
absolutely, absolutely. I think people are looking for, like you said, not only originality, but the connection with people. They're looking for that. No,
Yeah.
like life has become um unnormalized. Like we have a lot of spectrum based people that are working in society out there. People are standoffish. There's a lack of communication skills, all types of stuff. But also, with everything that just took place coming out of 2020, 2020, and everything like that, there is a lot of social distancing, or however you want to look at it. We don't know how to get along, or how to make peace with each other. Or we know how to make war. You know what I mean? We know how to make grife, but how do we, like we gotta somehow open up a door to say, like, look, you entitled to your opinion of me. Your opinion might be valid in your mind. You're entitled to have that opinion. That's how I look at it. Everybody's entitled to see each other how they want to see each other, but that don't take away the fact that we still all here together.
Right.
Absolutely. And you know what? It doesn't take much to just say a simple "I'm sorry, I didn't mean that." Let's try.
Exactly.
Let's connect, because like I said, we live in the divided states, and like Ralph said, we go through enough every day with all that we do. Let's, just build a community, stay connected. And it's not hard to say I'm sorry and I messed up, but not everybody unfortunately sees it like that. And you can't change people like that, but I just hope and pray that they can change and see the better outcome.
Hopefully, hopefully. Well, like you said, everything ain't for everybody. Uh Lady Letitia, you was trying to say something, or
Oh,
add
I
to
was
it.
what you said earlier about YouTube was interesting. Um, that they were going to have to change some things because of what happened with the pew pew, and because it looks bad on them.
Absolutely. Absolutely look bad on them, because remember, if you go back, and I don't know if anybody paid attention to it or whatever, but this guy was balling up I guess it was either cease and desist or the, court orders, because it was over, copyright infringement or content, stealing content, or so here you
Oh.
are, one of those type of situations, right? And now you see
Mhm.
not live right now talking about how Storm Monroe struck his page, yada yada yada, right? And he gonna have
Mm.
to see him in person, and he going deep. He's like, man, I hear you trying
Is
to get
it?
in Hollywood, and if anybody I know, guy, I'm gonna get in touch with them, and I'm gonna make sure I bang them to make sure that you don't get it. He going like,
Oh.
this is like, what type of,
Right.
okay. Okay,
Very unhinged.
because he's saying like I get, okay. I can't say I get it, because I don't understand none of it. Right? You're on here creating different variations of levels of beef in order to create content or keep yourself relevant in the minds of the multitude, whatever it is. Right now, when you're doing this, that's a double-edged sword, because you're using your tongue. So however you're dishing it out, you should be able to take however you want to look at it. Right? But to sit here and say that you're this is just battling wits, right? If we're being honest, this is just battling wits. You're
Yeah.
battling minds with other people on the internet to see if you can, one up them in the content variation, or outplay them with words, or mental strategies, whatever it's called, right? But there's a line that talks, when you're talking about bringing physical harm or pulling up, or what I mean. Now YouTube is
Yeah.
going to have to figure out that barrier, right?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Because obviously something is off, to where as though YouTube is dropping the ball and paying attention of the tension that is being built on these different pages. Because how can you have a book that has particular guidelines in it that says this type of stuff is not building up, and now we have a situation like this?
Exactly.
Absolutely. And YouTube is not to just come on and say anything like that you can say, because that's a red flag right there. And to continuously talk about it, constantly and go on for like 30 minutes, that's a problem and that's an issue. That's a big issue. It's a red flag.
What? Oh, okay. um What is you clicking? Oh, um, so yeah, I'm the way I'm looking at this is, I think, a positive movement is, just what we need. You
Yeah.
know, everybody just, put your differences to the side and understand that, we're in this together. And we understand, like, certain variations of things have been done to build content, but if there's really no hard feelings, then at this moment you should be able to put your differences to the side, because this is it content, building this content. Understand, we build images, we build certain brands, and if it is tarnishing your brand, like I say, like, this is about right being right, and it was hella wrong. And I'll probably mention this later, or if Lady Leticia let us up. Maggie literally, said that Danny Robinson was worse than Quiet Storm. Do
She
you
did.
know what that implies?
That is
Yeah.
falsification at its worst and defamation. I mean, honestly, that's farthest from the truth. And that's just like looking for retaliation, and it's very childish. And we don't need any more of that negativity in this world because we already have enough of it.
Yeah, it was really bad. That's a really bad comparison. Like, I
Oh,
mean, how
shit.
low can you go?
That's what I mean. Like,
It's not even necessary to do
and
that.
and you know, to do it for clicks and views, you know, uh Danny Robinson has allowed Magic to build a whole page off of partly defending Jaguar and partly her. Think about it.
Yes.
From day one, everything she was saying was, if you don't like Danny Robinson and you like me, send me the super chat, send me the cash app. If you don't want Danny Robinson to be right and my numbers to be low, then make sure you hit the like button and do. So
Yep.
she allowed her, to build this space off of, her.
Bullying.
Right, basically. But to put that type of, that's just like, come on, like, there is a certain, level of decorum that should be had on any of this, because everybody is building a brand around
Right.
themselves.
Absolutely.
No matter what you're doing, you're building a brand around yourself. You want your name to be creditable. If there's a moment where you actually have to ask for help on here, you want to be able to ask for help. If there's a moment that you want to sell something, you could be making knickknacks. You could be painting little arts and crafts. You could be doing the the do it yourself stuff. You know what I'm talking about. And you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So however you doing it, everyone is their own corporation. And when everyone start looking at themselves like that, you want to know that when you do step out, your name is not tarnished, tainted, and when you have people out here that are benefiting from creating chaos, it's very alarming, because this could ultimately be the outcome. You hear Cleo say,
Right.
what's it to you that we're playing in people's lives like
Absolutely.
this?
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
art.
And you know what? I mean, Maggie should be blessed that she was able to use, a lot of Danny's videos for as long as she was able to. But you can't get upset when she says you're no longer allowed to use my content, because, if you notice, Danny doesn't go live all the time, and she does 8-hour lives because, like you, Ralph and Latia, she puts in the work. It's not just going live, every single day and then intervals of stopping and starting videos. And you know what? You should be blessed that people let you use your content for so long, but there comes a point when it's like enough is enough, and that's it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Say,
Exactly.
Maggie.
I'm sorry. Don't get
Hey,
mad.
Leticia,
If
we
we're
might as
gonna
well
strike
do a
you, don't get
whole
upset.
we might as well do a whole Tubi a Tubi jigsaw movie with starring Maggie. We're gonna
Jumanji,
come on there like YouTube.
bro.
And like Maggie gonna wake up like all your life you depended on other people's content to make it on the platform.
My
Today
life, I had to
you're
fight
gonna
my
have to come
brothers.
up with your own. For real, that should be that Maggie be
Be
like,
original.
she can't
Yeah.
think for nothing. No Jack Daniels, no
Listen, I'm not a
nothing.
content
Like
creator.
we
I'm
ain't
just a
even
normal
gonna, we
person.
ain't
I
even
work a
gonna let
normal
Luther
job.
come in the room. Where's
Oh,
Luther? Where's
I'll go
Luther?
adopt. I'll adopt
Somebody
Luther
please,
myself.
where's Luther?
Luther.
I'll take care of Luther myself because I actually clean and I clean. So I'm sorry, Luther would have a good home here.
But Luther might come with some, you know what I'm saying? Luther might come with
Fleas
some
and ticks.
twigs, with some ticks. I mean, because think about it. She patting that dog like she was burping the dog. You name one dog that need to be burped.
Yeah,
You ever burped a dog?
never, Ralph, never.
All right.
Luther needs a dentist
She put
first.
that dog on her shoulder and was patting that dog in the back. Cause look, my mom used to do that. My mom used to lay my head on her bosom and shit, and then get the rocking and pat me in the back at the same time. I fall right to sleep. It was the most beautiful stuff. But
Right.
not Maggie's. That shit probably smell like never mind.
No, but Ralph, we see at firsthand, the messes and the throwing stuff, and you know what? You shouldn't. That's not a positive way to present yourself. If you want to do that, go back to the closet where you were in the dark and we couldn't see anything, But don't display your house with a bunch of garbage around, because that is not a good impression, and it really tells you. It tells people the kind of person that you really are.
Right. That's what
Yeah, it does.
listen. They say listen, you can't tell me nothing. If her house looked like that, you can't that what? That mean she listen to me. I now people are very observant when you put on this camera. You turn it on, you better be, the internet is undefeated. Okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? You make sure that you get your background, right. You pick 3 locations in
Yeah.
your house that is beautiful, and that's the locations that you use. 9 times out of 10, if you got a garden or some type of greenhouse, that's a beautiful place, right? If you got a sitting room, because a lot of people come with a sitting room. That room nobody can't come with. Furniture fuck around and have plastic on it. I'm not
Right.
sure. I know you
Yeah.
got I know you got runners before you come in and runners before you go out there.
A shoe thing right at the front of the door. Take your shoes off.
Right,
Only socks only.
right.
Chanclas. You
So
got to walk around in.
and then, for the people who live in apartments, all the way down to Section 8, they got rules. That's why you see people only go on Facebook Live and go live in their bathroom, because they know the rest of the house terrible. So they going live in the bathroom, right? So Magic, maybe she should have, understood the rules of the internet before she just jumped on the internet all willy nilly. You know what I'm saying?
And you
Yeah.
know what? And you know what? I mean, she has to honestly take the criticism because it's just the truth. And
It's
deep
the
down,
truth.
she may laugh at it, but I know deep down it bothers her because you know what? You want to show your green and yellow kitchen, but it's a mess, and it just shows the type of person that you are. Because I say you are what you show, and I'm sorry, but it's disgusting, and it is. It's just it's a lot to even look at because I'm very OCD.
I would listen. I'm not even gonna lie to you, Ralph. You mind if I call you Ralph? Never mind.
Please, I prefer to be called my real name. Thank you.
All right, Ralph. So what you're saying is very true, because I literally was with a girl, right? I was dating this girl, right? And you know how you finally get to come over somebody's house for the weekend. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going over for the
Yes.
weekend.
Excited.
I'm like, bet. So I get over there for the weekend, right? When I come in, the living room kind of junky. She talking about watching a movie. Shit is irking the hell out of me with this living room junky. Mind you, she done walked me around the house. So she was like, "You want to see my? I'm like, let me show you around." So she showed me the living room. It was a 2-bedroom apartment. So she showed me the living room. She showed me her room. She showed me her son's room, and then she showed me the kitchen. The the sink is filled with dishes. Do you hear me?
Oh
The
boy.
moment I seen these dishes, this shit irritated me. But I ain't say nothing though, right? I ain't say nothing. And I sat down on the couch, right? I noticed that she had some cups that was sitting on the, coffee table in front of us, and the floor could have been vacuumed, and there was some toys all over the place. But I ain't say nothing though. I ain't say nothing though. Right? So
She should have
nah,
cleaned that before you came over.
nah, listen,
Not
listen.
everybody thinks like us.
So look, so I'm sitting there, right? I'm sitting there, right? So we put the movie on, right? I don't even remember what we was watching, because all I kept thinking about was the dishes, the you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So I lied to you not. Like, as we sitting there, I'm looking at her, I'm watching the movie, looking over at her. She ends up dozing off, falling asleep, right? So I see doze off and fall asleep. I'm like, man, fuck this shit. I'm not even about to fall asleep in this motherfucker. Like, if I'm spending the night, shit, let me go ahead and. So I end up picking everything up, right, and doing
Yeah.
the
Oh
I
wow.
dishes,
was about to say, Ralph. Yep. I would do the
right,
same.
because I know I can. I know I'm not going to be able to go to sleep. Like, I'm going, mess her whole night up, tossing and turning. If I go to sleep with the dishes in that sink, right? So, because I think I'm gonna get an ass whooping. Cause I when I was a kid, I got ass whooping. Never mind. So I'm like, so I do the dishes, I clean up, I vacuum the floor, right? Boom. After I get that vacuum the floor, I sit down. She wake up. She get up. She like, oh, you want something to drink? She go in the kitchen trying to act like, oh, the dishes are done and you did the dishes. Oh my God, I should bring you over more often.
Oh.
And when she
No.
said that, I said, hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right. But I ain't say nothing though. I just kept it. So that weekend went by. It was good. Everything worked out good. It was a
Okay.
good weekend. I bet the neighbors know my name type of weekend. So I you know, the following weekend, she didn't. She tried to say that she couldn't hang out that weekend. I thought was odd. I ain't really say nothing about it, right? So the next weekend, right now, I'm working. I'm working 2 jobs. I'm busy, really. So she hit me up out the blue. You want to come over? For what? I ain't talked to you in a minute. You know what I'm saying? The last time we spoke, you said like, for what?
Like, what is she expecting? Dishes to be clean and a vacuum in, and
Man, listen, this shit made me so mad. I lied to you. Now I get over there. The house is dirty
right, Ralph.
again. I clean the house, right? And she fall asleep. Wake up. Look. She fell asleep. So listen, she fell asleep. That I let her stay asleep, clean her whole house. And when she got up the next day, I was like, I'm out. She was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What the fuck you mean? What the fuck you mean?
gotta
What
go.
I mean? What I mean?
Gotta go.
You think I'm about to keep on popping up over here every time you build up dishes and shit like that? I know what you using me for. You is not about to use me to keep on coming up here and play Jeffrey. I am not about to keep on coming. Fuck that. This is not the Fresh Prince of No Air. I am not about to keep on coming over here and playing Jeffrey. This is not about to be it. But I know a fucked up relationship when I'm in a fucked up relationship.
Right. And you know why? That's why I stay single, because I'm very OCD, and it's hard for me to share my space with somebody else. So I just hope and pray to God one day that I can find a wife. Because, like I said, if I could find a wife that likes to cook, I'll be the cleaner. Because I like to clean, and I feel like that will mesh each other out. If I find a wife that cooks, I'll clean, and I feel like that will work out, perfectly. But you know what? I just give it to God, and that day will come one day. But until then, I'm enjoying my own space and me, myself, and I, and I have to get out of that being single and being selfish and not share my space. But, it's easier said than done. But I'm just
you might have to settle for Uber Eats. They don't make them cooking no more. They don't make the ones that cook. Yeah, they don't really make the ones that cook no more. You might have to settle for Uber Eats. If you ain't cooking, see, that's why I chose to take on the task of cooking. I knew. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I said, God, I know you got somebody out there for me. Hold on. Don't laugh. Stop. Wait. Let me finish telling you my conversation with God. Y'all just gonna start laughing at the beginning of the conversation that I'm having with God? Dang. Hey, hold on. Let me reevaluate who I'm talking to for a second. I don't even know if I should even continue this conversation that I'm having with God. Y'all done started off laughing at the conversation with God already. But I'm gonna tell you anyway. So I said, God, right? I said, God, I know you got somebody out there for me. God said, yes, I do. I said, God, are you going to tell me any of their credentials, maybe their attributes? God said, no, I'm not. I said, so how am I supposed to know what I'm supposed to do and what I'm not supposed to do? He said, figure it out. I said, so I just started learning everything. I was in home ec. I was taking sewing classes. I was cooking.
Wow.
I was taking me. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take every stuff, because what if the person for me don't come capable of all of that stuff? And I'm a whole physical able body. What if the person that is right for me is in a wheelchair, right? Then I'm gonna have to be able to do a bunch of stuff. What if the person that God got for me is not physically capable of doing all the things that we are asking for in a significant other, right? And you got to be prepared for the person that God got for you. You don't know what vessel this person is coming in. You don't know how this person gets coming. You really just out here on a whim, wanting to be loved. Like you really don't, you're not looking for a specific person. You just want to be in love with being loved.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yes. That's how I feel. Absolutely.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just learn as much as stuff possible, and whatever God give me, I'm gonna have gratitude and be grateful.
That was good.
I know. It ain't gonna come in the color. It ain't gonna come in the y'all got these images of y'all idea Kens and Barbies. Y'all really think a
Yeah.
motherfucking Ken or a Barbie exists out here in this world?
This ain't
Shit.
Beverly Hills. Nope.
Yo ass, you could run around thinking a Ken and a Barbie exists. I promise you gonna be up shit creek with paddle shit deep. You still gonna sink. I promise you. Um
You know what I mean? Living in the dumps of Canada, pretty much the same.
Yeah, you gotta settle for somebody that love you. You fuck around and have 27 years of school sitting in the motherfucking studio basement with a dirty ass kitchen with a dog named Luther. I'm just saying.
Roaches everywhere. Laundry ain't done. Yeah, I'm saying. Not even Downy Unstoppables or Lysol sanitary bleach can clean them clothes at that point.
fuck around and be a Fuck around, be a part of that diaper program. Jaguar signing them up for.
Forget the Tide high efficiency detergent. Get it.
Jaguar signing them up for a diaper program. 15-hour shifts on YouTube. You better not move.
I'm not ruining my washer and dryer.
Oh
Oh
man.
God, this was
Listen.
fun.
No, but I'm just glad that we all see life for what it is, and I don't take it for granted. And like I said, whatever the future holds, like Ralph said, you never know what kind of person you're gonna meet, if they're handicapped or not. But be prepared. And I got all my love to give to somebody. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be there and support and do what I have to do. And
That's so good.
yeah, I
That
mean,
is
listen,
awesome.
I was raised. I don't talk to my parents, but they raised a good man, a good guy here, and I learned to do things on my own young because my mom wasn't always there, and I'm glad for that because it taught me to be very independent at a young age and to know how to do things. And I wouldn't
Hmm.
change it for the world. I wouldn't change nothing because it's made me the good man that I am today, and I'm grateful for my past. I am
That's awesome.
very grateful.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
I remember one time when I was in a group home, Miss Livia, she was the lady of the group home. She was one of the staff members, and she was like, "It's time to have a meeting now." It was 8 boys on one side, it was 8 girls on the another side. She sat us down in the dining room at the table, and she was like, "Today we're gonna find out who know how to wipe ass." And I was like, "What? What type of lesson is this?"
Like what?
You run across one of them moments, you're like, huh? She said, today we're gonna find out who know how to wipe their ass. I was like, what? You would never really, get a chance to understand exactly the mind of the youth until you ask them how they wipe their ass.
A
It
very
matters. It matters, right? Because a
it
lot of people don't wipe their ass right. A lot of boys keep
Ralph,
on trying to.
thank you. You know what? I always say, Ralph, it's nothing wrong with cleaning the anus. It's not a self-cleaning thing. And a lot of guys think that's gay and shit, but it's like, listen, it don't clean itself. Come
Whoa,
on.
whoa, be mindful of the words that you use. You remember you on YouTube. You can't
Yes,
use
my
certain
apologies.
variations of words.
Absolutely.
Hold on, TikTok. I gotta reset.
But you
And
know what? The body is the same thing. You got to keep it clean.
we are on other platforms too. But yeah, absolutely. Now the point that I was going to get into with this, what I was about to say was, you know, and Miss Livia asked her, she was like, she gave everybody some tissue, and she was like, okay, let's see, how you guys wipe. Everybody was supposed to pass around the roll of tissue
Wow.
and say how they wipe, whatever. Some of the girls was saying, that they wipe, back to front, so on and so forth, everything like that. And the point that she was trying to make, she was trying to say, like, you guys are in a rush to be grown and you don't even know how to wipe your own ass.
Right.
Right. These were 13-year-old kids in between like 12, 16, being bad in the house, so on and so forth. I ended up in, group home due to the fact that, I didn't have placement. But these kids ended up there because they were, bad adolescents, so on and so forth, trying to run the streets, be fast, all this other stuff, you know what I mean? And she was trying to explain to the girls and the guys, that you're out here being fast in the streets. You're out here trying to do all of this and act grown, and that I can't wait till I grow up and all of that stuff. And half the people in this world don't even know how to, you know,
Take care of themselves.
wipe their own ass. Because think about this, there's a lot of guys right now that still end up with streaks in their drawers. How are you still ending up with streak stains in your drawers? There's a lot of women that washing clothes right now from men who still got streaks in their drawers. That means that these men still to this day don't know how to wipe their ass, and that's why they still got streaks in their underwear, because they still don't know the proper way to wipe their ass.
It's unfortunate, Ralph. Yeah. And, it's the thing is, too, it's never too late to learn, these things, but you have to want to change. You have to want to do it and do better. You know what I mean? You really do. And, you do. And, I'm grateful for the way I grew up. I mean, like you grew up your way. I grew up privileged, but, I learned from a young age to do my own laundry and clean. And I'm grateful because it made me the person I am today. And, I don't complain about it. I don't bitch about it. I'm just grateful for, me being the person I am today for this.
Absolutely,
Because
absolutely.
life is a
Lady
blessing,
Letitia,
Ralph.
I see you, Lady Letitia. It's all right. I see you. I heard you say your phone went dead. It's okay. You're going to get ready to. Okay. What time is your live going to be? I'm gonna go play the game for a little bit, or whatever.
Letitia, I
Whenever
think
your live is. Is it like 2 hours or 3 hours?
an
Is it
hour
going to be in
behind.
2 hours or 3 hours?
It's 9:17 my time. I think she's an hour behind us, Central Time.
I know, but she said she was gonna do like a 10, maybe push
Oh,
it, a little bit later.
I'll
I
try to
think
stay
she said 8 o'clock. Okay. So she said 40 minutes. 40 minutes would be 10 o'clock my time. Okay. She
same time.
said she eight
Yeah,
o'clock or something. Okay. So yeah, 40 minutes. Okay. That's a better time frame, because I know we all in different time zones and we all want to stay safe. So we stay on a minute clock, you know what I'm saying? We just say, an hour and 20 from now or 2 hours from now, whatever, then we ain't nobody gotta know nobody location or nothing,
nothing
because
at all.
I don't want nobody to think I know their location, and I don't want nobody to think they want my location, because
Likewise,
that's
bro.
the problem
Not at
right
all. I'm
now
not
with all of
interested.
this bull crap that's
Not
going on with
interested
these
in that.
people threatening for real.
I only care
You know how
exactly, Ralph.
paranoid these people try to make you.
I
These
only
people try
care
to make
about
you
my
paranoid.
friends, and that's it. Nobody else. I'm not worried about anybody else's business or trying to know nothing. I only care about like my friends, my family, and that's it. Nothing else. I don't want to know anybody's business. I already got my own business to worry about.
Well, I'm gonna stay out of the business. I'm gonna still care for everybody, but
Me,
I'm gonna
same.
still stay out of the
Yes.
business that is, because that was crazy. I appreciate you for going up, speaking on, just speaking up for all the routes out there. You know what I'm saying? For all the
Thank
routes out
you.
there, we got to speak up for all the routes out there. But just for going up and speaking up, because this is weird that this person that don't even know me sitting there trying to tarnish the name of Ralph. For what reason? And he don't even know, like, and he still said, the last message he sent me was like, I respect you, and you'll see, and I'll try to show you. And I'm not asking you to live, I'm not trying to get you to prove nothing to me, live up to nothing. I'm not, see, that's the problem right there. You trying to look for acceptance or some type of approval or attaboy. I'm not going
Crying
around,
for it, approval and attention. Yeah, and
I'm not giving out no attaboys. I don't know. I don't even have an attaboy sticker list or nothing. I don't even know how to pass along the attaboy. Like how?
I
Huh?
don't. And you know what, Ralph? I only speak from experience. And like I said, what I say is the truth. And like I said, I'm going to defend people that are my family and I care about. And like I said, I just went up there to speak the truth calmly, respectively. And if people can't take it, then like I said, God bless and so be it. But I'm only coming up there to prove a point that what this person is saying is completely a false narrative, and maybe give it a chance. And like I said, you have to leave your negative problems at the door. Don't come in bringing your problems, because that's not what we're about. You're trying to build a positive community, and if you're coming in with negativity and drama, it's not going to work. And that's all I was trying to say. And you know what? If you want to curse me out and call me out for that, so be it. But you know what? I wish you the best. I don't
Yo,
hate
you
you.
gotta stop. RC. Please, you gotta start repeating that over here on this page, because the algorithm don't know the difference. It really
Right.
sounds like you're saying that to me. If somebody's spamming the page right now or trying to, it seems like you're saying that to me.
My bad, Ralph. You know I don't mean that.
Like I know, but you repeating it so many times, like or like, bro, we know that's not us. Like, so it's not even no point of, but you're repeating it. Somebody could be, you know, because that's what they're doing. I don't know what's going on, but it's a lot of weird stuff going on right now. I would like
You're
to stay
right.
away from it,
Yes.
you know.
You're right.
And I get what you're
Absolutely.
saying, man. If you practice peace, then continue to practice that peace. Continue to practice that, that sanctuary of it. If he says something about you, then
Oh, yeah.
let him go ahead and create the narrative that he want. You stay out of it and continue to practice, what it is that to be of a peaceful mindset,
Absolutely. Because life is a blessing. Every day I wake up, life is a blessing, man. I'm grateful every day I wake up because it's a
Absolutely.
day of being able to be my best self. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right,
All
Ralph.
right,
You know
man.
what? I appreciate you having me up because I don't really like to speak, but thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak and, talk to you and be up on the panel. So I really appreciate it. But, I'm going to step down. So, but thank you. I really appreciate it. And this has been a
All right.
great
You have
talk.
a great one. You
All
have a
right,
great
buddy.
one. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you too, brother.
Yeah, with all the chaos that's going on in the world, I think we need to sit down and be at peace a little bit more. Maybe this is the summer for change. Maybe Jaguar can, change up her sector and try to start unifying or at least sit down and find common ground with these different people because this is all part of her effect, you know. This notion of chaos that's going on, this rhetoric of bull crap that's going on, this fortitude of mayhem that seems to keep on circulating, this constant level of fuckery, uh, you know even Maggie's outcome was inevitable. you know what DMX said, when you do dirt you get dirt, you know what I mean. That's the reality of this. When you do dirt you get dirt. You can't sit there and play this game and play in people's faces, and eventually people are going to realize what it is that you are doing. People are going to see through whatever it is that you are doing, and then that outcome might not be as promising as you want it to be. And that's the reality of it, right? We have circulated on these platforms for a number of times, as far as trying to go back up and give people the level of understanding that they deserve, or the level of respect that they deserve. We try to open up doors in order to reach a level of respect. We constantly repeated and told people, hey, we don't want to be a part of that negativity. We don't want to be a part of that negative you know uh whatever. And they still kept on trying to pull us in. They still kept on doing it. Even if I was to let's say I was to dignify this with a response, right? Let's say I was to dignify this with a response, right? It'd be nothing for me to go back into the Discord and show the conversation of what this person is talking about, right? It'd be nothing for me to go to my TikTok and open up my TikTok and show you, you know, the information, you know what I mean? It would be nothing for me to show you this, you know what I mean? To go to TikTok and show you the messages and all of that stuff. But this person wants me to do that, right? This person wants me to do it, so then they can try to be like, oh, I told you that in confidence and you want and like, come on. You got to be kidding me if you think you gonna keep on playing that type of game with people. And you know what I mean? I had to literally like block this person. They tried to delete their account, right? They tried to delete their account because I didn't block the person, right? But they tried to delete their account. Look. See, it's a person not found. They tried to delete their account, right? It'll be nothing to go back and show you the conversation log, right? All the way to the apology. I never meant to disrespect you. That weird ass energy that they always come with, right? It'll be nothing. I apologize for disrespecting your community. I really respect you, and I genuinely feel like I can learn a lot from you. I've even recommended you to family and friends. I will not force myself on you. I will give you your space. I'm truly sorry. That's the messages that this person is sending, right? So when you trying to send a message of peace, but then you're going on panels trying to, you know, talk crazy. See, that's why we always keep our guard up with these characters. You know what I mean? That's why we always keep our guard up with these characters, because they say that they'll say something like, I'm just focusing on building my page, so on and so forth, and their page is controversy. Their page is to tell you one thing on one end, do another thing on another end, wait for you to try to correct them or ask them what's going on, and then paint you out to be a character or a bad guy or whatever it is that they want to paint you out to be. This is repeated, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It's weird as hell. Y'all can't tell me it's not weird. When is it going to stop? Enough is enough. Right? Let me get nurse, 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 nurse. I'm hurting. My hair hurt. My back hurt. It's just weird energy. It's weird energy. People looking for people to be themselves. We starting to see through all of that weird stuff. You're not about to, hit me with the 52 fake I just thought it was so much we can learn from each other and blah 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 blah. Like what? No, we can't. What we gonna learn? We can't learn nothing from nobody. I can't learn from you. They try to delete the page. They try to delete the page on TikTok, like mission accomplished. You know what I mean? This is the conversation that they was bringing me on TikTok, right? I'm gonna let you know when I responded. I'm gonna let you know when they responded. I should just take a picture of it and put it in the Discord, but they want that. They want that attention, right? They say, "How do I comment on the replay? I'm lost on TikTok." Right? They asking me how do they comment on the replay on TikTok, right? Then they say, "Maggie doesn't like me anymore." It says she's acting very hypocritical on her live. They just timed me out and she asked me to leave, right? I laughed. All I said was LOL, right? She said, and then they said, and so now Lady Latis or Lady T doesn't like me because I was watching a video that Danny Robinson was discussing about Maggie, and all of a sudden she starts talking about the night, and then she starts dragging Lady T, right? Then he says, I had no idea, right? Then he says that Danny Robinson and Lady T had beef. I had no idea that Danny Robinson and Lady T had beef, right? Now, mind you, he's breaking it up like this, right? So then he says, and I have not responded to any of this. I have not responded to any of this, right? And he say, All I remember is yesterday. I remember you guys talking about Maggie and how she fucked up with Danny Robinson and that she's crying and all these things because she can't take the heat and the pressure. So I was confused to find out that Danny Robinson has to say about Maggie isn't that normal. Are we allowing to be inquisitors to listen to the other people point of view to make a judgment of our own, right? Then then he says, "So I thought you were a pretty cool guy since you came to Maggie's channel the other day, and I decided to follow you on YouTube. And then I was interested in you talking about how you are trying to help people build. I found your TikTok, and it was pretty cool. It was interesting to see you gaming. I then asked you in the chat about it, and then I learned that you guys are doing big things. YouTube is a huge saga, a lot of drama, right? This is what this person is saying, right? Trying to do all of this weird ass. I'm just trying to get to know you, and I see that you game, and it was very interesting, and whatever the fuck they got going on, right? So I say so much drama. This is all I respond, right? I say so much drama, right? So then I say, not sure who you can watch because they all get mad. It's weird. That's all I say. So much drama and not sure who you can watch because they like trying to ask me like who should they watch. I'm like, look, I'm not sure who you should watch because you know they all get mad. So I'm not sure. So they say facts, right? And then they say, I'm trying to build my business. I don't have time for this BS, right? Mind you, this person is typing me the bullshit. They are DMing me the bullshit and then saying, I'm trying to build my business. I don't have time for this BS. So why the fuck is you conversating with me about it? Why is you? So, you know, I say facts, right? I say facts. Do you have a link tree? Right? Trying to talk to them about building their business, their brand, whatever it is that they, you know what I mean? I say facts. Do you have a link tree? They say, not yet. I just joined your Discord and I got the highest level subscription. Well, we can give you that subscription back for sure. Right? Because this is playing games on the back end. You trying to subscribe on Discord to try to make yourself occupy, like that means you got the right to occupy that space. No, you don't. We'll give you that back. Right? So they say, I just joined your Discord. I got the highest level subscription. Right? I said click the link in my bio and fill out the form to get your link tree started, right? They say, do you have a video explaining everything? Do you get what I'm saying? They say, do you have a video explaining everything? That means you're not trying to, you know, do what you're not trying to start your business. You're trying to steal a business. That's the difference between starting a business and stealing a business. You want to try to find out everything you can about social media management so then you can try to say that you social media management, right? Do you have a video explaining everything, right? So then I didn't say anything. I said kind of, right? I said kind of on my main page, right? And they say everything we're you are doing here. That's what they said. And they said, meaning everything we are doing here. That's what they said. Do you have a video explaining everything we're doing here? That's what they wanted me to produce to them. A video of me explaining everything I'm doing. Who the as a grown ass man to another grown ass man, how the why the what the how, why I gotta explain to you everything that I'm doing here. Make that shit make sense. But I keep my cool. I keep my composure, right? I tell them, you know, on my business page or of Atlas on TikTok on my business page, they can go look at some stuff, right? They say, okay, right? And then that's when they start to do all that weird shit in the Discord. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. That ain't even making no sense that you trying to like you got let me get a what you call me explaining everything that you got going on here. That don't even make no sense. I'm just sorry, that don't make no sense. You know? I gotta. You just now coming into the folds of things, asking me, you let me get a video of everything that you do that you got going on here. What the fuck? That's some weird ass shit to say. And you the one that's trying to build your business. You the one that need help building something. But I gotta explain to you, like I asked you to come on as a partner or some shit. That motherfucker hit me with the, and why should I invest in your services? Ah, and tell me, why should I invest in your services? Get your ass out of here. You shouldn't. You shouldn't invest. Hey, we got that This album coming soon. This album coming soon. This album coming out soon.
Flip my dip the game, yeah. Well, you the only one to blame. Tell the crow she won't be twerking. All the lies you told ain't working. In your chat, them swords be lurking. Ready to chop, chop, chop your Birkin. We can see you playing lambs, but you built your shit on scams. Playing victim to make it rain. Now you swim in the sea of pain. Now stay in your lane. Yo, chat better make it wane. Yo, chat better, yo, chat better, yo, chat better make it wane. Your lane. Yo, chat better make it wane. Yo, chat better, yo, chat better, yo, chat better make it wane. You been swinging the biggest wrench, then you hide behind I'm French. The universe gave you a sign. It's why your channel's on the line. Love is not a joke. You should have thought before you spoke. Acting like you better than woke. Now you're choking on the smoke. If you don't want the wrong words to leak, mind the gap before you speak. Now stay in your lane. Yo, chat better make it wane. Yo, chat better, yo, chat better, yo, chat better make it wane. Now stay in your lane. Yo, chat better make it wane. Yo, chat better, yo, chat better, yo, chat better